Hello and welcome to Bridge to 10k, and you will notice that I am not actually using this as an introduction to a run. I have got one of these, and the noise you can hear is my dog who's sat in front of me who wants me to tickle her chin. Yeah, okay, yes, I'm going to do that in a minute. Now, it's time for me to give you an update on what's been happening. Yeah. If you saw last week's video, then you will know that my running has been curtailed somewhat by an injury. So time to bring you up to date on exactly what has been happening. Now, first of all, I injured the toe, the middle toe on my left foot. That is 10 days ago at the time of recording this. My toe went black, then it went a bit grey after a couple of days. I am pleased to report that my toe is now much more toe coloured. That's a good thing. It's still a little tender, but frankly, it is the least of my problems at the moment. Now let's move on to my other leg, which is, well, from now on, it's going to be called LegGate. Right, okay, the LegGate situation is this. It was hurting, which I think is as far as I got in telling you last week. And I didn't say exactly where it was hurting, I just mentioned it was the ankle area. Now, where it is between my Achilles and my ankle bone, and that's where it was hurting. So I've been keeping my foot elevated. I've been walking around using this crutch, and although not all the time, but most of the time at home, and I haven't been venturing out particularly, if I can help it. So I've been catching up on my Netflix box sets and iPlayer and things like that. Every cloud. And which is good. So I'm keeping my foot elevated, just generally, all serious. Also, I've been putting on some gel, some anti-inflammatory gel. It's got ibuprofen in it, and I'm sure that's not doing me any harm. But it's quite swollen, and yeah, it feels a bit sore, a bit uncomfortable is more the word really. So, not great. I obviously haven't done any running at all. I've barely been able to walk, frankly. So, yesterday on day, it would have been 7 days since I'd actually hurt it, I went to see a sports therapist. Nice chap. And he thinks, after poking and prodding my feet for a bit, that I have damaged my deltoid ligament. And I asked him the big question, which is, does he think that he can get me back and running again in time for the 10k in October? That, viewers, is the $64 million question. Or actually, it's about the £40 question, because that's how much I paid for my entry fee. So he suggested that what I should be doing is putting an ice pack on there. I thought about this a week or so ago when I did it, but I really didn't have the knowledge and the experience to know really how long to put it on for and this kind of stuff. Other people I've spoken to since said it's obvious and I should know this, but I don't. So he said what to do, how long to put it on for, exactly where to put it. I'm not going to tell you what he said, because it's important that if you have an injury, you get the proper advice that you need and don't listen to a Herbert like me. So I'm doing that now every 4 hours or so. I'm probably managing it maybe 3 times a day. And already that's having an effect. It's a kind of a weird one. I can't really put my finger on it because I've only been doing it now, about 24 hours. So we'll see where that goes. I'm going back to see Mr. Sports Therapist next Wednesday. So it's going to be another week. It'll be 2 weeks since the injury. And that is a much longer session. And I'm hoping that I can get some real clear ideas of exactly what's going on and what the program will be to get me back into running again. So I think next week's video will be a lot more informative. I'll be able to say exactly where we stand and whether this series will be coming to an abrupt halt, or whether I will be aiming to get back on to the 10k in October. And really, things have taken quite a turn. I was building up the distance, as you've seen in the recent videos. I was getting further, and it was all going swimmingly, and now I've got an injury. So this has turned into now a battle of, can I get back from injury in time for the 10k? Not can I get to the distance, can I just simply be able to run any distance by the time of the 10K, which is in less than 2 months at the time of recording this. So that's the situation. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sure this is very dull. It's just been me looking at a camera, but to make things a bit different, I'll look at this camera and I'll say thank you very much for watching. I'm going to get on my crutch now to show you that I'm a little bit mobile. So there we are. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and see you next week if you're sticking with me, and I'll give you another update. And thanks very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to leave your comments, because I love to receive them. And I will see you next week. Bye for now.